Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Just a quick reminder, on Wednesday, April 16th, I will not be doing the 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time live Q&A session because I'll be traveling and I won't be able to. But we're going to try to do it on Friday. That would be the 18th at 1 p.m. If something goes awry, because I will be traveling quite a bit, I'll post something to let you know, either in the posting area, wherever that is on the channel, or throw up a quickie. But anyway, I hope to see you Friday, 1 o'clock p.m. Bye, guys. Hey, all. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever it may be for wherever you are. I am Stephanie Joy with All Things Social Security and the Joy Disability Law Office. Your video is about to start. I wanted to remind you of our live Q&A sessions here on YouTube as well. They start at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so it's a little earlier for you Western folks. And I look forward to seeing you there. It's a first come, first served basis in terms of the questions you might want to pose in the chat, and I will pick them up going from beginning to end for about a 2-hour period. So anyway, I hope to see you there. Have a great one, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye. After being married 10 years, does SSDI dollar amount increase to the estimated amount of spouse's SS since it's more? Or does SSDI dollar amount never change? There's no real spousal SSD. You either earned it yourself or you didn't. So I'm not really sure what you mean by that. It comes under your own work record. So I would have to take a gander and say no. Your SSDI amount is based on your work record, and it will increase with COLAs, and or if you're working part-time while disabled, still under SGA and keeping it safe, they will adjust your Social Security benefit amount every year when they recalculate. That, by the way, is really good for people who didn't work a lot in their life. Let's say you had some sporadic years, you have enough for SSDI, and you're on SSDI, but it's really low. You probably have a ton of years where you didn't, if it's because, say, you took 20 years off to raise kids or something, or some other reason, and then you gained, worked in a few years, they look at the top 35 years, and when you don't have it, they look at the amount of years you could have worked after 21. You can fill in some of those years, some of those zeros that's dragging down your average, which is what they base your Social Security disability or overall Social Security amount on. Now you just replace that with, say, a $10,000 a year. That was a zero. So just thought I'd throw that in there. It's not always Social Security disability or SSI we're talking about. Sometimes it's not disability at all. Sometimes it's Social Security retirement, right? We haven't talked about retirement in a while, but had a question from somebody that I already addressed, but I thought I'd share it with you all in case, this is something that might come up in your future. If my spouse files for Social Security, so I would assume that means retirement because the person didn't mention disability, can I file for spousal benefits at that time? That's all going to depend. None of us can file for retirement until we are of retirement age. So we know that if the husband files for Social Security retirement, he's at least 62. The spouse is at least 62 at that time. Yes, she can file for spousal benefits at the time, but you got to think long and hard about it. If you file at that time, you're going to be taking a big discount. If you file at that time, they're going to be considering your own work record and spousal, so that you're going to be deemed to have filed for your own, not just a spousal benefit. Remember, that was a rule that changed 2015 or so, and it eliminated the possibility of filing for spousal at 62, letting your own hold on tight until you decided to file for it at, say, age 70 or 67 if you wanted, but either way, and letting your own grow that extra potentially 80%, almost doubling in size, and then switching that way. So, whether you do take a spousal at 62 or any other time is a different decision. Now, there is no real benefit to waiting past 67 to take spousal. Waiting to 67 or whatever your full retirement age is, if your spouse has filed, is the max, that gives you the max you can as a spousal benefit. So when is your spousal benefit going to be the max you can get? That's if your own benefit from your own work record is really very small. And I say that because your spousal benefit is never going to be your husband's full amount. He gets that. Or, by the way, if it's the woman and the man, we can switch these genders around. It doesn't matter. So let's say the husband's benefit is $2,000. 50% of that is what the spouse would collect as a spousal benefit if she waits to her full retirement age. So she could get a full $1,000 of benefit as a spousal benefit if she waits till 67, not if she files before that, even if he files at an earlier time than when she's of full retirement age. And if she opts to file for spousal before her full retirement age, that 50% gets whittled down to what will probably be about 35% of her spouse's benefit. So if we were talking 1,000 at 67, because he's getting 2,000, now we're talking, what is it, guys? 700, something like that, 650. So thinking long and hard, and because it now triggers your own benefit, you're never going to get the benefit of your own benefit growing. So you almost want to do that math before you just ever file for anything. What is going to be the benefit that you're going to get the most from now? Will that change over time because your own benefit can grow if you delay while your spousal does not? Well, it does if you don't take it 62, and you waited to full retirement age. So you really want to do the math. The way I look at it is this way. Will my benefit, assuming my husband is still around and I'm not getting survivor benefits, will my benefit be bigger than a spousal? I already know mine will be. So, because spousal is only 50% of his anyway, right? So I don't plan on taking anything unless my health really goes downhill until I'm 70, but of course I can change it anytime. Anything can happen. We all know that, right? But I will be looking to see which one will be the one I ultimately want to live on. If it's going to be mine, me being a conservative, cautious person who wants to have the more comfortable life in my golden years when I can't do the work and make the money to pad it, I want my income to be as high as it can later when I'm most vulnerable and least able to fight back and make it and have as much control over my, wherewithal as I do now. So I am going to be looking, if me waiting and letting mine grow will be the thing that I will be most preferring, then I will probably not do that spousal thing because I will be eliminating that possibility of me having my biggest thing. It means I'm stuck with what I do now and that's it. None of that growth do I get. So, that's not going to be a big deal if I'm still working. So that's good. It's when you can't, and then you have to make these very tough decisions. But you can file for your husband's Social Security, your spousal based on your husband's Social Security filing himself, if you're at least 62. But I do urge you to consider all those numbers. Consider if it's a want, a need, and weigh all of your options and weigh all of the costs. All right. If you're under 62, you cannot file for spousal at all. All right. All right. Bye, guys. Happy retirement one day. So you just saw a little clip from one of our live Q&As. It might leave you more questions, particularly if you had a little piece of that applied to you and some more facts that would make things different. If you do, feel free to put a comment down below about the extra details, and we could maybe even make a video on the particular aspects of that you'd be interested in. So in any event, I hope to see you on Wednesdays, 1:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and also 9:00 a.m. every day. We have a share from the field, so to speak, of things that happen in our workday. So hope to see you then, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.